Another weekend and another time where we have to break down all the incredible talent making their way to Norman, Oklahoma to see Brent Venables and the Oklahoma Sooners. Today, there's a lot for us to break down. First and foremost, we need to talk about the Sooners getting in a 5-star quarterback in their recruiting class. Secondly, we need to talk about them pursuing another 5-star quarterback. We have got to break down Oklahoma entering into the race for one of the fastest risers in the nation who just so happens to be out the state of Oklahoma. And finally, we need to break down why camps are so important. Before we do, as always, y'all know the drill. I need to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Why for yes, N for no. And considering Oklahoma just offered Cole Adams, and he's from the state of Oklahoma, do you believe Brent Venables and company will be successful in keeping him home? And let me know what you're thinking. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit that bell notification. And today, I want to try something. I want to see if we can get 100 subscribers off of this video alone by Monday. And if we do, I'll be contacting someone to try and put together a joint video on the Oklahoma Sooners that I know Oklahoma fans will love. But with all that being said, let's jump right into this, and we'll start with Oklahoma getting in a 5-star quarterback. And that is something that I don't find inherently surprising, because Jackson Arnold, the quarterback Oklahoma got a part of their 2023 recruiting class out of Denton Guyer High School in Denton, Texas, is now rated as a 5-star. Someone who was on the precipice of 5-star status for quite some time now has that 5th star in his name. Now, this is something I don't find surprising, and if you've been watching my videos on Jackson Arnold, you probably don't find this all that surprising either, because the day he committed, I had started saying, Oklahoma fans, watch this kid. He has got a very deep skill set, and when you look at the type of versatility and when you look at all he brings to the table, it's going to be really hard to keep a 5th star off of this kid, because he has got great arm talent, and if he continues to do so and show that arm talent on a weekly basis during the season, and he camps well, it just seemed very unlikely that he wouldn't end up a 5-star. Fast forward to now, and he is just that, a 5-star quarterback, and I think he's going to continue rising. And because of that, the Oklahoma Sooners need to feel very good. Lincoln Riley leaves, goes to USC, but fast forward, you still have a 5-star quarterback in your recruiting class, and Jeff Lebby has got to be incredibly excited about what he's going to be able to do with Jackson Arnold. But it's not just relegated to Jackson Arnold. Oklahoma is having success in pursuit of another 5-star quarterback. This time, 5-star quarterback in the class of 2024, DJ Lagway, one of the most sought-after prospects in all of high school football, someone that we are going to have to really dive into their recruiting process once it gets a little bit closer to it being the class of 2024's turn. Right now, we're just right in the thick of 2023, so that's where we're going to keep the majority of our focus. But we do need to be aware of the name, because this is a prospect that every major institution is going to be trying to court, because he has got next level ability. And so any institution that can lay the framework right now and get that foundation and have that foundation be very solid is just doing themselves a favor that looks to pay off next cycle, something we've got to continue watching. But if you were wondering how this new staff was going to be able to recruit the quarterback position, especially after the old staff was so successful at getting in top-tier quarterbacks, worry no more, because early results are in, and they're looking very, very good. But now, we need to shift focus away from quarterbacks and talk about an in-state prospect that is rising up the boards, someone that the Oklahoma Sooners just recently offered, but they could be in for a battle. And of course, we're talking about 4-star wide receiver Cole Adams, someone who many other institutions have been clamoring to try and get for quite some time. And this is going to be a battle we need to watch, because it begs the question, what's important to Cole Adams? And if playing home is important for Cole Adams, well then the Oklahoma Sooners may just be the team to beat, even though they just entered into this battle. Because it's always hard to say no to playing for your in-state team, especially if being close to home means a lot for you. Some of these kids want to leave where they come from and see new things. Others are perfectly fine with staying close to home and playing for an institution they grew up loving and watching, and there's no correct way to do this. It just matters that these kids make the best decisions for themselves. So this is a battle we have to watch. And make no mistake, I'm not saying that the only reason Oklahoma could win this battle is because they're the in-state school. They have got a lot to offer in terms of what they have done in the past with the wide receiver position, what Jeff Lebby has done with wide receivers himself. And when you look in the class of 2023, they already have a 5-star quarterback in that class, have courted another top quarterback for the future. If you're a wide receiver, there's a lot to be excited about, and especially if you're a wide receiver from the state of Oklahoma and you wanted growing up to play for the Oklahoma Sooners, they have a lot going for them right now, and so it wouldn't surprise me at all to see Cole Adams opt to play home, even though he has top-tier institutions such as the Alabama Crimson Tide, who have been phenomenal at wide receiver development and sending those guys to the NFL. I mean, nobody can really replicate their production level right now. Oklahoma has got so much going for them, and they're the home state school, that it wouldn't surprise me to see Cole Adams choose to stay home. And finally, we need to talk about why camps are so big, because this gives both parties an insight, and I love that. And let me break that down a little bit. It gives both parties an insight from the stance of, if you're a coach, you get to go to these camp settings, see these players go up against other top-tier players in a setting you control. You dictate the drills, you dictate the pace, and you can make it very analogous to how you would run a practice. Therefore, you're getting an understanding of who would work in the systems you put forward. That right there gives coaches so much clarity, and it's why so many of these big institutions only will give a committable offer once they've seen these kids camp. And then for the kids, they get to go into a situation where they get some insight into what their futures could be like at that institution. And so it is a win-win in my opinion. Both parties leave with insight they may not have previously had, and they can go forth and make a decision based on that insight. And so I think camps have been spectacular, and I think Brent Venables and company are really going to find a lot of success through these camps for a few reasons. First and foremost, they've got enough production and development on the back end from what they did at Clemson and previous stops to have a lot of tangible pitches being utilized. And secondly, they've been able to make those pitches turn into hype. And if they can combine the two, I think they can find a lot of success. But it is going to be something we have to watch. But inevitably, I can't wait to hear from you. Hop down to the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. That's it. See ya.